on the MDT
All right,
there.
perfect.
For you.
Some titles changed and all that.
All right, good. Is how's everything going so far?
Pretty good. Right before the justice got here, I was. Just,
I think it's like killing for some reason.
It's them about PNT. I appreciate it. I'll let them know. We were trying to figure out a way to get some people hired because there's some hesitation around having an academy this month before the holidays, due to the fact that there might not be FTOs around to start those people off. So I was trying to figure out a way we can get some FTOs around. Is it a stipend we need? Do we need to get them? What do we need to do for those people to get them on duty and training new people? Because not hiring anybody.
They never asked me that before, so I mean, hey, it's good that you guys are having a conversation and can tell me what you need.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
trying.
think the
I'm trying
issue
to get
is this plugin
a
sucks.
small list of the most important things that I can direct your way and see what you can do about them, and that way,
perfect.
I'm like,
this is great. Actually, this is great. I wouldn't mind some type of like bonus program, for FTOs and stuff like that. But also, I don't want people to cook themselves too hard. I mean, I'm sure you can relate. We can definitely let's see where let's see how this 2,500 goes for a bit with the max pay on the weekends and see what exactly happens. Let's see if unit numbers are either up or down. Let's see how things kind of go from there. And then also, it's like you guys do have like $5 million, in your guys' in your guys' like Blaine County budget. I mean, nothing stops. You guys can utilize that money for pretty much anything that you deem necessary. I mean, that's essentially your money.
Yeah, of course, with proper documentation,
parts,
everything.
You can pay for it. If you want to give people bonuses, you can do that. You can pretty much set up whatever you want because the previous administration wasn't setting up nothing.
The other thing, I just brought up right now, people were talking about not just money in general, but the vehicles, the cars, people having a hard time with parts and all that and how expensive they are. And I said, well, while they save up now that the pay is increased and while they save up for their own personal stuff, we should try to work on at least getting a couple of these cars in the shared pool upgraded to the point where they're not useless in pursuit. So these people don't feel like they're just getting dusted. I'll get you the numbers. I'll go talk to probably Ajax. Honestly, he's been one of the better people.
Here's
on
what
parts
let me tell you what I'm probably going to push you to do. Right?
Sure.
If it's like a few million, I'm probably going to push you to try and if you don't have any plans for your BCSO budget, I'll probably push you guys to try and I'll go halvesies with you so we can spend a little money from both ends. So that way we can I'm not bleeding myself dry because paying you guys more is going to affect the economy up here in the north, especially if there's more people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so there is another thing I'm going to be staying on top of, right? I'm going to be monitoring everything because I get that, Blaine County, right? We have to pay our police, right? But at a certain point in time, it's like, let's say theoretically we're losing money, right? We're going to have to discuss plans on how we're going to have to go about that. Like maybe arrest quotas, ticket quotas, like anything to kind of drive shit in. And it's not like it would be something crazy. Honestly, if people could just perform 2 basic traffic stops or cite 2 cars for illegal parking, I'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
Right? Because that way, at least we're at least generating a little bit of money. And even though it's only $500, 20 officers coming on duty, doing $500 a day, minimum, that even that small increment will just help us out with, staying ahead of shit.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. We, as far as budgetary concerns go, we're going to keep that in mind. And if things start to get overwhelming with it, obviously, or you at some point toss up the red flag and say, hey, the budget's getting pretty light. It's thin over here. We'll adjust as we need, right?
Yeah, we have. Well, no, I'm not going to touch your guys' pay. It's just what we're going to have to do is I'm a man of my word. I want to keep your guy. I told you exactly how we were doing. The only thing that would probably change is the max pay on the weekends, right? But I don't think there's going to be tons of people coming around on the weekends anyway, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Plus, I get over 1.5 million from the DOJ because I pay the judges.
There's still enough money.
I pay the marshals. I pay all the county clerks, including Nino, so they give me a subsidized 1.5 million. A week every Saturday.
Okay.
There's more wiggle room and I'm trying to get some kind of programs going with Nino as well, where we can get a little bit of subsidy as well to kind of help with it because, Los Santos is rich as shit, but I'm not taking any loans.
We were rich as shit. We're about to pay $270 million. Yeah.
It's a lot.
That's a lot of money.
It's a big building.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So, well, here's the thing that I want to do. All right. I just want you to get situated, get comfortable. Tell me what it is that you need, how we can work together. Maybe handle things in the department, make sure things are kind of, going good. If there's units that need funding, if there's certain things that need to be done, I can help you with all of it. All right. Right now we got a surplus. I think we got like 50 million.
Okay.
So we're good.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the stipends go for the FTO thing, that's number one priority to me, because if we're not hiring new faces, I mean, if we're already having number problems, there's no way that we're going to solve any number or unit issues on the streets if we're not hiring more people too. Some people are checked out, some people might not want to come to work, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Here's
but
what
not
I
hiring as well
to
isn't a hurt,
Talk to the people, find out the reasons for not being on duty, find out out exactly what is it. Just money? Is it something else? What can we do?
Yeah.
I get it, because I could imagine, when there's low units, you have to go call to call. No one likes doing that shit, right? You wear yourself out. You burn yourself out quicker than if you were to FTO all the time, in my opinion. But some people, it's like, hey, you got to get shit done. So let's figure it out.
Hey, Seb.
And then what we
can
do
Mr.
is,
Mayor, can you do me a solid? I got Bobby Charles on my ass and Carmine creeping up my asshole when it comes to my job at DOC. Could you just, flex your power or show them
what I was
your
doing.
reach?
Pretty much, we're on the very same page.
They're launching an investigation.
Once we're finished, probably
you have power over them in Bolingbrook.
Yeah, I tried. See, they don't listen. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, I get that sorted.
Just
Yeah.
Just show them.
Yeah.
Show them exactly, the reach. That's all.
Okay. Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
If you do me solid, I'll do any solid you need.
Really?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
I owe you kind of thing.
Sab, how am I gonna believe you're gonna be here for more than?
You sound like right now. Come on,
you're trying to give me
a
coupon here, but I've seen you come back over the past 5 years, or no, 7 years. I've seen you come back I think 10 times.
I know. Listen, my record, my my past
Listen,
history.
I'm gonna do it just because it's you. All right.
Okay. Just if you can, just make sure it doesn't come back to me if possible. Just you know what to do, Nino. You're a smart guy.
I got you. Hey.
All right. I appreciate you.
Hey. We finally did it. We've taken over the government.
Wow. Oh shit. Okay. Yeah. I've been seeing the announcements.
Yeah, we've been trying to do this since fucking God knows since Donnie was around.
That's right. All right.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how it goes. Wish you luck.
Yeah. So here's what I'm thinking, right? We're gonna Lang, I think, has a clean record now. I'm gonna have him become chief of police.
Really? Okay. Fantastic idea.
Yes.
Can I be the ass chief?
You want to be the Sab? You want to be the assistant chief?
Yeah. If he's being the chief, I want to be the ass chief.
Oh, come on. I don't know, Sab. I feel like let me think about that one. All right.
All right. Think about it. Hey.
All right. Okay. All right. You take care.
All right. You as well. Bye.
Unfortunately, there's going to be people like me where you're going to be forced to work with them, right? And they wouldn't work with me. I gave them plenty of time to work with me. In fact, Nino can tell you how often I would drag my feet waiting for them to try and work with me, and they never did. You've already shown me more respect and worked with me more than they have in my entire term. So I think that we'll be able to get things done, and we'll be able to keep pay high, and we'll be able to. I'm not going to do any bullshit where it's like, hey, you got too many cops, right? You got to fire some or get some off duty and shit like that. I'm not going to do that at all. What I'm just going to do is try and get you to incentivize programs that are going to make us more money. Maybe trying to fucking get a drug bust. Try and get some shit done, because I need to look good in the papers. The papers reflect me.
Yeah, and if we're not working, the citizens are going to wonder why the county's falling apart. There's no patrol here. There's no sheriffs. I call 911. I don't get any help. We don't want that for anybody. It doesn't look good for the department,
Right.
myself, you. I get all that. Also, quick question, if anyone can answer. I know we have like a disposal locker back there where we're supposed to turn in like contraband or whatever. It goes to the state and then it gets filtered back out. I definitely think that would be a good program to start really firing that up, trying to get people.
As far
as
I know, it
that.
already is a program up here because it actually makes a decent amount of money. There is a program that I'm going to be putting in either tonight or tomorrow. We got a lot of stuff in evidence that's past its statute of limitations, right? What we're going to do is if there's money, all right, if there's anything of like significant value, all right, we're going to try and utilize that for our, for our county. All right, even it's outside of statute. It's just sitting there. We're gonna have to try and figure that shit out.
Legislation in place for exactly that. It's like a liquidation thing. I think we just need to push it forward. The DOJ wrote it up. I think Nino and I talked about it months ago.
Yeah.
Where pretty much things out of statute would get liquidized into the state's budgets.
Yeah.
Let me see what we did with that legislation and try and get it in your guys' desk.
Me and Nino have to have a sit down. It'll either fall on jurisdiction, which will fuck us, or it'll fall on the officers that did the work and the processing and shit like that.
Yeah.
Or in certain situations, me and Nino could even split it, depending on like things are going. I mean, I think honestly it'd be healthy for us to do a joint effort with like we get a department in who's going to go through that shit. And then we just kind of split it and chalk it up to that because you're going to need money. I'm going to need money. And if it's all LSPD officers that made the arrest, then as far as I'm concerned, you guys can all have it. I
think it's important, Radish, for you to hear a little bit of history, and I'm not gonna hyper deep dive it, but for the past 4 months, the chief has been labeled the cadet of police or chief of cadets or whatever the fuck, and it's been bad. And there's been a lot of horse shit that's been going on, and a lot of I think with you in charge, I think some of that can be repaired. And in doing so, I think these sort of programs you're talking about, Pred, I'd be completely down to chop it 50-50. So we can have both departments working side by side instead of what has been 4 months of just trash. So fuck who does the arrest. Let's just make sure people are happy. You know what I mean? But that sound good?
I think I think we can just I think we could actually hammer this out today since we got the justice president.
Yeah.
I think fuck it. I mean, if it's already written up and we just go over it, maybe we change it a little bit, then we can.
I'll send it to you both now. It's called the Strip Act.
All right.
I think
so we'll talk about how about afterwards, Justice, if you're available. I'm not sure what your schedule is like, but how about we maybe go over that and just review it and see if maybe we can hammer something out and jumpstart another program that's going to incentivize more people to work and have jobs and stuff.
Yeah, I have no issue with that. I'll be around. Let's see. Right. You both have it now if you want to send it to your cabinets.
Perfect. Yeah, the Princess is a member of my cabinet. Tony's going to be a member of my cabinet. He's also my lawyer, and I like getting his opinion on things. Oh, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I'd like to have him go over it regardless. Hey, Jax, let me call you right back. We're having a meeting. All right, bye, buddy.
Kyle, it seems your spiritual advisor has lost both of her eyes.
What?
Eliza Stalanos has posted on Twitter that there was an accident and she has completely lost vision.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Well,
we're gonna have to get her a dog.
Oh, that'd be great.
I hear corgis are pretty
Adding
great.
that to the list.
That's crazy. Is there anything else we need to touch upon? Pratt, I want to talk about legislation with you whenever you get a free chance.
Let's go do it. We can go do it now.
Okay, great.
What did she tweet?
Afterwards, I mean, Nino, are you handling stuff? Because after me and Justice Arcadia
Yep. Go ahead.
Get done, maybe then we can just look at the strip backs and see if maybe we can get this going tonight.
Yep. I've got a lot on my plate. I think we should link up sooner than later, get that shit out of the way, and then we can do whatever. You know what I mean?
All right,
I'm multitasking right now, so.
Out quick then.
Okay.
Let's
Was Acme present for legislative talk, or is this?
Yeah. You and Tony both can come. Let's go to my Humvee.
All right.
Nino, before I go, you need anything from me?
I am good. I've got so much to do right now that I don't even know what's up and what's down right now.
Okay.
Yep.
If there's anything you think I could take, or no matter how small it is, just
take. Everyone should take a look at the legislation. Everyone should take a look at that strip act and then go from there. Sorry, Reg, you were saying?
You're good. I just want to chat real quick.
Oh yeah. Let's chat.
Just real fast. I know that you're the mayor of a different jurisdiction than the one that I'm the sheriff in, but at the end of the day, it's all one state. The citizens all, deserve that respect, and I know you feel the same way. So if there's anything that we can do, BCSO wise, anything to help with,
absolutely.
You just let me know. You let me know where we can chip in for the state and for the city and for everybody's well-being.
I have a very hard stance on the counties being autonomous, right?
Mm-hmm.
And autonomy means to me that the people vote in a mayor, the mayor instates a chief or a sheriff, and that they function on behalf of their constituency, right? Now, that doesn't necessitate that, given the demographics, that we end up in a situation where, criminals can pretty much do whatever the fuck they want, right? But what it does mean is that their concerns, their values are, reciprocated through their mayor and their, and their position chief and sheriff. You with me? So from that,
yeah, absolutely.
Jurisdictions mean a lot to me. And I want to give you my perspective, right? Is it's not a money thing, right? It used to be a money thing. That we're over that hurdle. But specifically what that means is if, let's say, up north, you guys had a way of policing, right? And I don't know what that is, right? I don't know. Polito had its needs, whatever it is. Y'all fulfill those needs in the same way that down south, if there's a way things happen, things should, happen in that way. So where I'm going with this is jurisdictions do mean a lot. And we've had the past administration, past deputies, and the chief really go head to head, including myself and the previous sheriff. Now, I don't mean, I'll say this just straight up. I don't want you guys not down there, right? You all need to be able to work together. But there needs to be respect for the other side's jurisdiction, right? And I know we do live in an environment, this is a reality, right? Whether you're a criminal, whether you're a civilian, whether you're whoever, everyone's chasing that adrenaline, right? But adrenaline cannot trump people's rights, right? People's ability to, you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
when we're down there chipping in, helping out, when the BCSO and our deputies are down there helping LSPD, it's not just a respect. Like, obviously, you have to respect your fellow coworkers, the other officers, and the command of the LSPD. But you have to respect the citizens of Los Santos because you, as an optic, are the face of the BCSO for that person. And they may not even live in the county. They may not even come up here. And so they're going to have a law enforcer from a place that they don't come to, that they don't live in, that they didn't have any say in. They didn't vote for me, or they didn't, you know what I mean? They voted, they didn't vote for.
Exactly.
And then they're going to get a deputy from a county that they have no contact in, who's just a mutual aid deputy that comes and, like, violates their rights or something. What kind of optics is that set? Well, one, they certainly don't want to fucking come to the county after that. Why would they want to come up here? They're going to think they're going to get shit canned every time. You know what I mean? They're just going to get treated like that all the time. So I do get that. Optics are a big part of law enforcement. People don't like to admit that. They just want to have the outward appearance of, I am the authority, you will listen to me. But we all know that's not true. And when people don't listen to us, that's when shit goes south fast. That's when the authority is lost. because the respect is lost. That's when we have officers getting ambushed in the double digits. You know what I mean? Shit like that. And on top of it, we have good civilians who they don't have the ability to just go and ambush law enforcement and feel like they got their revenge. They just sit there and have to take it and be upset about it. And who does that end up reflecting on? Yourself and the mayor, because they vote for you guys and me. If I were to be on the ballot, you know what I mean? Same thing. Any elected official, you are the ones who have to answer for that accountability if they're being wronged by anybody, really.
That is exactly it. And unfortunately, and I'm telling you this history so that there's context, right? And not beyond that, is even when it comes down to, you know, sheriffs come and attach to a call, whatever, and there's rank pulling in a jurisdiction because, no, we're going to do it this way. What that creates culturally, right? Because I understand that there's like a PD culture. There's reasons why people want to be a cop. But that cannot trump why people want to be in the city, right? And what I mean by that is, and I'm going to give you like a prime example of how this had caused issues in the past and why that respect needs to be reinvigorated and enforced. There was a time where TRT, I think this is before you, maybe before you got hired, on both ends of the spectrum, were utilizing both information coming from Marshall drones, but in addition to that, we're lining up and going from location to location waiting for a drug ping. They would arrive 6 unit deep, and there might have been like a guy in a corner, and it's like, that must be him. That then would snowball into possibly a shootout, because there is a way that you can over-aggress. There's a guy on the street, maybe he did sell dope, maybe he didn't, maybe he's just a fucking lawyer, who fucking knows. But now you're chasing after this guy, it snowballs, now all of a sudden this like minor situation is now a potential shootout, 6 cars, whatever, right? Now, the problem wasn't just that it happened in a one-time incident. It's that if something wasn't found, they would go to the next place, then the next place, then the next place, to the point where people were coming out of jail and 6 units are already back. Now, this is 2-3 months ago. This resulted in Hell Week, the potential of Hell Week. I came in as the mayor and I said, no, this is bad, right? Because I can't have blood on the street. We put a meeting together. I spoke to the heads of these communities. We came to resolution, and instead of that piece being facilitated, we had deputies come down and reignite it with the intention, and I don't expect you to believe every word that I'm saying, right? I'm sure you'll hear something else from someone else. But there was farming of $250,000 to $500,000 charges in order to pay for PD equipment.
You know, I mean, look, until a couple hours ago, when, or not even, 90 minutes ago or hours ago, when this appointment happened, I was a deputy. And before that, I was a senior with the LSPD. I left before you were elected. I transferred over here when Ruby and Barrick were still chief. I wanted to transfer when the department was in its inception, but that didn't happen. Long story, whatever. But I worked on the streets, and I heard people, you know, not talking about questing, you know, thirsting for those big money charges. But when they happened, they certainly weren't upset, right? And they certainly realized very quickly that's more money than they thought it was going to be when they're slapping people with these big cases. But like you said, you're sitting here outside of somebody's block. Okay, let's say for every 100 people that live in that apartment, there's 2 people that sell drugs out of there, or 3 people, even 10 people. That's still 90 people that don't want to be harassed.
Wait
by
a
6
minute.
cops every
I
day when
put
they come
DPD
out of their apartment, right?
Oh my God! Wait, you're right.
It's things like that.
DPD is running
UPD
now
as well. I mean, I can only do so much, you know, from my end on the BCSO side. Obviously, LSPD they have their own things, and I'm sure Daisy does an amazing job. She's wonderful. She's very nice. To you know, keep that kind of thing in check. If I see that kind of activity, if I see that behavior is, you know, grouping up on one area, just I mean, that's profiling, is it not? We're profiling.
It is.
Law enforcement should not be profiling people. That period. We don't have we don't have the space in optics in this state, either department, to do that and get away with it. And we shouldn't be trying to do that and get away with it because it's against people's rights.
And I think there's a bigger picture here too, which is whichever way things get navigated, right? It's a political decision. Does a county, and this is going to open up, like, this is a door that I wish was opened up a while ago, but if the counties and departments, they may not, I don't want to say look the other way, but pull back a little bit on some things in order to focus on other things, right? Like, for example, you know, either legislatively, right? Small quantities of weed gets reduced. There may be another thing like, hey, this is going to cause more bloodshed. We need to dial back and strategically do something for the betterment of everybody. Those kind of those sort of decisions, whatever they may be, can only happen if jurisdictions are enforced, right? And that's kind of where I'm going with it. It was that Daisy tried to solve some things, but then it was just like, we don't need to listen to you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. We're going to come down and do whatever. And I want to bring that autonomy in place, not so people are big dicking each other. That's not what I want to see. It's never about that. But rather the feeling of ownership is that when you have stuff coming up here, whatever it might be, right? For all we know, there might be a population insurgence up here. Is that there should be at least a respect of this is how they're going to do things down here, and not become like blackmail over how many numbers are on duty or whatever. Or like, hey, I got this. I know more than you. It's not about that. It's about making the people believe they have a voice, right? And believe that they matter. And it's not what I think a lot of people think is a police state. Am I making sense? I know I'm kind of talking in big picture things, but
it's funny because I believe like we're on pretty much a very close page, very same page here. And obviously, you know, it's easy as a cop in any rank, any level to really not see the big picture because you live a different life from a lot of other people, right? You come to work, you're kind of in a bubble of other government employees and cops and stuff, or at least most of us are, right? And it's really easy to just see it as exactly that, a job. You come here, all right, I come here, I see people do bad thing, I slap cuff on, I take to jail. Boom. I don't care how I treat them. I don't care what transpires in the meantime. If they try to do anything once they're in cuffs, I'll just tell them to be quiet. They can't do anything to me anyway. See you later, pal. And that's the first step of how we get to, well, now the bigger problems that we have here, or at least had. It sounds like some of it has kind of died off or died down a little bit.
It didn't until today.
Really?
Anyone who suggests otherwise is lying to your face, and you're going to get a lot of that. And I think you're going to get broader perspective, perhaps from Daisy and Peters. But they have... Look, to give you how bad that pressure was... the reason I decided to run a second term is there was a jurisdictional thing. There was some deaths in LSPD. There was the Hell Week situation in the first term. There was, look, there's people that were potentially, allowing. What if I were to tell you that a command member was letting a gang leader know information that would allow the shootings for LSPD? And I could say this because I know my community and I know the leader who told me directly. And imagine all of this came to a head and Daisy decides to enact jurisdiction, right? Which was always a right, but like new territory. It caused some tensions. I was brought to a meeting. We're on a rooftop. And what they were told to their face, both Daisy and Peters, by the old, heads, was, you don't need to listen to them. They're going to be gone anyways. I'm going to paint you a second situation that still continues to happen, which is there's a gang-related shooting, and suspects are split. Why is the split an issue? Because if you split people apart. The lawyers can't talk to all their clients. The police department, I mean, you should chat with Maxwell, and she'll tell you this, is where some people get charged one thing, others get charged another thing, right? And the cops can't even talk to each other because their suspects are all over the place. It's a phone call. And that leads to, where does it lead? It leads to failure, right? Right? And so...
I got a DEP point for being in that exact situation.
Yeah.
I gave somebody a lesser charge, and under the guise that I thought that was the correct charge at the time because we didn't have a certain amount of evidence, but they did have the evidence, but they weren't with us, and we didn't have the communication.
There you go.
I was literally a victim of what you're talking about the split. I think that obviously we have to address the issue of, it's the revenue issue, right?
Well, I'll solve it for you right now.
You know,
I'll solve it for you right now. If you and Pred commit, right, to reforming the BCSO, and in a sense that LSPD is, we stop dealing with this jurisdiction issue, because I'm glad you're in position and Pred's in position, but that gets reinforced, that I will work with both the county and the sheriff's office to make sure you're getting the funding for your assistance. You know what I mean? That was always on the table, but unfortunately, the best way I can describe it is that the conversation was too deep for the peanuts that were in position, and it turned into we are going to do this because we want to do it. Whereas I will tell you, I will cut those checks. I will fucking cut it and send it to your account, right? That's not a problem. But that can't happen if a deputy or whoever goes down and just says, I'm going to do whatever the fuck they want because I can. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if they do, there's zero consequences to it, because they can go back to the county. And what is LSPD and yourself supposed to do if they wrong somebody inside the city?
Precisely.
Unless you can depend on the people in the leadership of the county to have that person punished appropriately, right? If once you can trust that that'll happen, then it's definitely a trust issue. And obviously there's going to be a lot of work I have to put in before we would get to a point where I think I could reliably say that we should talk about that funding and stuff. I think that
I don't think I know. I mean, we could do it this week. I mean, listen, look, I'll give you like a simple solution, right? And I proposed this 4 months ago, is that and it doesn't have to be this is just an example, is if a crime happens in Los Santos, it's Los Santos County law, you process them at Mission Row, and vice versa. You put a tag on it. You already have officer names tagged on it. You know what I mean? Yeah. There can be literally one person. You could even put in an admin. I'll even throw you one that goes, and their job is they go through, they get a thing, and there's a cut, right? And that cut goes right back to BCSO budget. There was 30% backup in these cases. Boom, we send it over, or whatever the middle ground is. I have no problem with that. Money is not a problem to me, right? Hell, before you got into place, you know the kind of things I was talking about? I was talking about sending Andy Jones millions of dollars to help fund not just you, but shit up here, like food assistance, material assistance, you name it. But it was just, if you get looked at, to be fair, I'm going to be open about this. I just learned that in week 1, I was labeled a criminal due to things I did more than 5 years ago, or I was suspected to be involved in. And that has culturally bled in to the point where there was no conversation, and now there is one. If you need something, you need our assistance, call me up and we'll make it happen, whether it's money or whatever it is. I just want my county respected in terms of jurisdiction, and for it not to turn into childish drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense. 100%. Like I said, I think that it sounds like from our conversation so far, and it's limited, just you, me, Pred, we're all seeing on the same page what needs to be done here, where the issues lie. A lot of it is honestly, a lot of it is optics. It really is. It's about actions and trying to show people that the assumptions are not correct, but unfortunately they've only been reinforced. So we're gonna have to kind of chip at that. And
I also think it's very important that I make a very clear disclaimer that I had no idea that you were going to become the sheriff, and any past existential relationships we may have had zero influence over anything, but rather the things that I saw you do recently, to be honest. And I'm very glad that you are in this position.
I appreciate it. I'll be in touch. You know, you can always, you have my number. I'll just give it to you now.
All right.
And anything that comes up, please, just reach out. I think communication is going to be obviously.
Can you dial my number just in the?
Yeah,
it makes it a little easier.
There you
go. All right, easy. Can you send me text me your full name so I spell it properly?
Yep.
Any restoration work done on historical monuments or anything like that, you have to make it obvious that it's a restoration. You cannot make it look quote unquote new. Like in some buildings you might see
Okay, easy.
I will also reach out to you about that one. The admin thing, I was just thinking, kind of cooked in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It might be an easy way to just have a tag created called mutual aid or something similar, and then we just, if a BCSO deputy goes into the city, is on a call,
let's set a meeting up for it.
Right? Okay.
But I think
we should have LSPD high command there too. Yeah.
Yes, easy.
Yeah, I don't want to exclude, because here's the thing. Let's say you and I have the conversation with Pred. That's literally excluding her. And how would I feel if you and Pred had a conversation with her about something that had to do with the county at all? You know what I mean? Or her department.
We're already vibing. I'm of the same thing. At the end of the day, we're gonna have disagreements. There's gonna be money shit that's gonna pop up. But we're fucking adults. We can talk through it. I mean, and
none of us really deserve these positions if we can't. I mean, if we can't just be rational adults at the very baseline, right? And try to make things work. Even if there's personal issues. I told Pred the other day we were having this conversation, and it doesn't apply to him or anyone else, but just in general, kind of the situation. You don't always have to respect, not respect. You don't always have to like the people, your boss, the people you work with, but you have to respect positions. You have to respect titles. That they're there for a reason. And if you don't, what is the point of your own existence? If you don't respect the mayor, then, and let's say you're the sheriff, you don't respect the mayor. Why would anybody show your position respect? If they're gonna, even if they don't like you, they still have to say, well, that guy's the sheriff, so I at least have to work with him or deal with, what's going on. And if there's none of that there, it's just a never-ending grudge match. It's just eternal grudge match. People are not going to lower and back away from that because they both feel disrespected.
Yeah. No. 1,000%. 1,000%. Let's. You want to set up date and time? Send me an email. Let me know when, or give me a call or whatever it is, and let's do it. Even this weekend. We should try to do it this weekend.
All right. Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds
okay.
Good. All right, sir. I'm gonna get the office door here and let some of these deputies come through and have a chat and stuff. So
I appreciate it. All right.
Thank you, sir.
You take care.
Yep. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right.